Hi, I've been informed that some of my videos are hitting the algorithm for some reason. That's pretty funny. Um, I'm going to talk about my website today. Uh, I have been entranced with this project because I really miss the old web. And I know that's a very sort of nostalgic, almost um, zillennial obsession. I wish I want to go back to the old web. I want to read blogs. But like the internet has become so centralized, and I'm not necessarily against centralization if it's in the right hands, but privatized corporations centralizing the web into like three social media websites, everything is just a bunch of trackers and ads and really just annoying UI interfaces that look like mobile phones, and everyone's on social media constantly engaging with these systems that really give you no freedom, no democracy to the user. And so I've been very obsessed with the old web, the small web, as one of my very intelligent friends puts it, I believe. Um, Actually, let me take a look at one of my friends' websites here. This this kind of shit is amazing. I miss when people had the customization and the wherewithal to put up shit like this, just shit they like, and put it online and not really worry too much about, anything else. Just this is a thing I like. I like the Atari 800. I'm going to translate a bunch of old magazines from the 80s into HTML pages. My friend's website here is really cool. I encourage you to check it out. I have a website, insect.christmas. I think I started doing this last year, is when I started working on this. It's been a project that is just really fun. Originally, I was using a website maker, whatever the hell you call those websites that essentially give you, an easy to use website builder in the web in a web browser. You just drag and drop different elements, and that was great. Made it a lot easier, streamlined. I could do a lot of really fancy stuff without much thought. But I was limited in that I couldn't really add my own code from scratch. I could add like snippets of JavaScript, I think, but I wanted to actually sit down and write the code and make it from scratch. And so that's what I recently did. I think that might have been this year, but I don't remember. Or late last year that I ported it over, and so everything on my website is written in HTML, CSS, a little bit of JavaScript, and I wrote it myself, so it feels good. And now some of this stuff is code that I found on the web. For example, this little pop pop down button. You click the button and then it sort of pops down. I found that on the web. I modified it like a little bit, but I didn't write that myself. But and there's some other stuff like that on here. Some JavaScript that you ripped off of the web in some some Quora page or something. But it feels nice to know that I wrote something and that this is like very unique to me, and so it's just really fun. I mostly like to host a lot of uh, my art on here, like what I create, and so I figured I would just like go through and show you what I've done so far. Obviously, if you're watching this like in the distant future, this might not exist. Maybe I'm dead, or maybe it looks completely different, or there's much more content, or much less. Who knows? But yeah, so this is like the front page that you land on. Something that I'm really adamant about is not formatting this website for mobile. So if you view this on a phone, I've seen some phones that will actually sort of zoom in automatically and basically give you a pretty seamless experience. But I've seen some phones that just treat it as a desktop page, and so you'll load this on a phone, and it'll be extremely zoomed out and impossible to use, really. I mean, you can zoom in, but it's just annoying. I'm not going to fix that, half because of laziness, but also because I don't really like mobile phones. Um, wouldn't quite say that it's sad. I don't want to go like totally Ted Kaczynski on the world. I think Ted Kaczynski is kind of cringe, but I do think it's just interesting how everyone is on their phone in public rather than interfacing with each other. Uh, Even close friends, family, you go and hang out. Imagine a Thanksgiving dinner and everyone's on their phone. I think that's sort of a depressing. Well, I don't want to say that, but I guess I will say that it is sort of a depressing thing. And I've grown to hate the mobile phone. I like to use it as a tool. There are times where I use it as a tool. It's great as an alarm. I'm sort of interested in those no phones that people use, although I wouldn't spend money on that. I'd rather just not use my phone. But yeah, obviously there's great tools on your phone. It's great, but I sort of think a lot about how not every computer needs to do everything. And to me, a phone is a way to contact people and, an alarm and a calculator, and I don't want to be using it 24/7, especially when I'm out in public. I'd rather be looking at the sky or talking to people or noticing something beautiful about the world rather than on my little LCD screen. So that's one of the major components of my website here. One of the major like founding principles is that I sort of refuse to format for mobile, even though it's obviously dumb to do this. In terms of SEO or marketing or whatever. Obviously, it would be great to format it for mobile, but I'm lazy and I don't care and I hate mobile phones, so I won't do that. Some phones do it automatically. My phone actually will zoom in this page if I open it up. It zooms it in automatically for some reason. I don't know how that works. Regardless, this is my front page. This is the landing page when you go to insect.christmas. I recommend using the HTTPS in your URL bar. I just have some links here on the front page. I got like my speedrun page because I've kind of been into speedrunning lately. I'm not good at it. I just really like short speedruns. So I've been fucking around with Smash Brothers Melee. Yeah, I know. You're talking to the 6th place in 10-man Melee Donkey Kong world record holder. Take a look at this. This is actually really funny because all I'm doing is holding down B, and the people, they just run up to me and they die. And I got 6th place by doing that. Probably the dumbest speedrun ever. Some of these are a little more time intensive. In this one with Pichu, I actually jumped around and tried to hit the people. I actually I studied this for about an hour, and literally just an hour. Like I'm not like sitting on this for days. Like I'm not a good speedrunner. I just think it's fun to do these little short burst speedruns. I think that's interesting. Anyway, that's a random aside about speedrun.com. Yeah, so I have other pages on here. For example, I have one to Kiwi. This is my cat. I got a page for media. This is more hobbyist. This page is more for myself, but also, if you're interested in some of the things I'm into, maybe you're looking for some new, political nonfiction. Maybe you click this, or you're like, oh, I want to get into board games. Here's some of my favorites. My most intensive page here is a work in progress anime page, because I really like the website My Anime List, but I kind of wanted to make my own. So I could have a little more control. I will say My Anime List gives you a lot of control over how you stylize your list. I think that they actually let you put custom code in, so it's actually very customizable. But I already had this page for my hobbies, and so I was like, I'm going to port it over here. However, it's a huge work in progress. I still have all of these anime that I've seen. I need to format that into these tables, which I've been putting off for like maybe months now. I'm not sure. So that's sort of a work in progress on the page. Something I really like is I have this table at the top, which sort of serves as the header, or like the navigation of the website. And whenever you're on a new page that isn't one of the main ones, it adds that to that bar, which I think is kind of cute. I don't know. And yeah, so this is my media. Go back to the homepage. I got some philosophy stuff where I talk about some stuff that I'm really into ideologically. I got links to my stores and updates and email support links. I have a little web ring. So if any of my friends make their own websites, I would love to add them to my web ring. The way it works is you go to a friend's website and they have to have me linked in their web ring as well. That's why it's called a web ring. So you can get around to all these different websites. It's like an ecosystem. So that's what a web ring is essentially. I think those are pretty cute. Give some other people some clicks. One thing I miss about the old web is this is also an aside, but in your forum posts you could have signatures, and I don't know. There's probably like a 15-year-old watching this doesn't even know what this means, but in your signatures you could put whatever you want. People put like raw or lols. I like My Chemical Romance. Something like that. There was this website about dragon eggs, and basically how it worked is if you clicked on the dragon egg picture, it would take you to the dragon page, and that click would give it like another tick towards the dragon hatching out of the egg, and then it would become a baby, and then if you click the baby, it would give it another tick to evolve into an adult. It was a really cool website. I really liked it because I would throw it in all my signatures on all my forum posts, on all the Pokemon forums and Gaia Online forums, shit like that. And the more you post, the more you get those eggs going around, and people would click them. I wish I knew what that was called. Maybe somebody will let me know in the comments, but I really like shit like that. Anyway, so yeah, I have a art page. Every page has like its own status bar, so I can sort of give an update on maybe how I'm feeling in regards to a specific page or thing. Yeah, this is my art page. Has a bunch of my sort of more favorite pieces, more recent stuff. And then at the bottom, there's a Google Drive link to actually view almost everything that I'm willing to share in high quality. You can download it or mess around with that, or just view them. I have, links to buying my stuff or commissions, which I might have to turn commissions off. I've been kind of busy. I have these fake ads on the sides of some of the websites, which I think is kind of fun. So, for example, this one just takes you to my Etsy page, for example, if you were to click it. It doesn't give you malware, but maybe if somebody paid me $1 billion, I could have it linked to malware. I'm kidding. I have a little blog. I have a games page. I've really only made one game, but I have a lot of video games in progress that I'm still working on. Music page. I got this really funny banner ad. I got a podcast. I got stream, which you have the emmed Twitch stream, which is like kind of ugly because it's like more modern web-esque, but also pretty useful. Got my schedule over here and some dancing cats. A video page, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think making a website is a very fun activity. I think honestly, you could make a website for anything. You could host whatever you wanted. Maybe you just want to make a blog, or you want to make a mood board of images that you like, or you want to showcase your art, or whatever. Maybe you just want to make a cooking page, so a bunch of recipes, whatever. I feel like the internet used to be very personalized, and people's websites would have very unique, personalized to them, messaging and content, and that is sort of lost on the modern web. A lot of those websites still exist, even if they're not maintained. There's some that still exist, but they're not even accessible. If you Google something, recipes or whatever as an example, you're gonna get a bunch of really shitty blog posts. Now they're probably being generated with ChatGPT, lacking any human connection at all. Or you'll get linked to YouTube or some social media website that obviously is higher in the SEO rankings. This is why there are alternatives to Google, which, God, I need to start using more. Maybe I need to use DuckDuckGo. My friend was sending me these links to search engines that would specifically give you like unique old web, small web type content, which was really cool. But yeah, I think if anyone has an itch to like code a little bit, or maybe learn how to code, I think like HTML and stuff like that is very, very simple comparatively, to like traditional computer science study. Uh, you know, I messed around with HTML in high school in like a computer class, and it's very simple. It's sort of like little building blocks, and I think people it can wrap around. It can wrap around to your head a little easier than like a Java maybe. But yeah, I think it's a fun project for anyone that is interested in that kind of thing. I highly encourage people to make websites if they can afford hosting it. You can host it on your own computer or whatever if you want to, a server at home or something. But yeah, that's a little tour of my website. Just figured I'd give a little bit of info and give you some annoying rants to hit your YouTube ears. For some reason, I haven't advertised this channel anywhere. For the most part, other than on my website and like I guess in my Discord. And it's very funny. Like they'll get like 100 views or whatever because it's just to like people who are like in my circle, right? And then randomly, I guess my Linux video hit the algorithm or something. So at the time of recording this, it has like 4,000 views, and there's a bunch of people being like, "Hey, fuck you." There was this Linux exploit, so now you look like a real stupid idiot. But yeah, just I'm using this channel mostly to just upload whatever the hell I want. So it's just kind of funny to me that it kind of hit the algorithm in some weird way. So I'm just gonna keep making videos kind of whenever I feel like it about random topics. So this one is just about making websites and what my website looks like, and maybe it inspired you to try making your own because I think it's a very fun hobby. All right, peace.